Yes. I took Il Hermano. I'm going to talk today a little bit about war tools. War tools. Now, I could probably talk for days about war tools, but I want to just give you a little abbreviation on it so you get a concept. Maybe you can get your priorities in order and you can help not just yourself, but your family, neighbors, and children. Okay? War tools. War tools, number one, starts with brands. Status, and law. Now, number one, if you don't know law, you don't know status. The first issue at law is status. Okay, status. The first issue at law. So if a judge asks your name or your identity, you should be able to separate the difference between an identity and a reflection or what someone looks like. War tools. We're gonna start with the birth certificate. The birth certificate. The birth certificate is a war tool. When after a woman gives birth, she acts and gives birth to a child, a baby. Okay. At that point, the baby belongs to her. But then the doctor comes to her and hands her a birth certificate. A birth certificate. The birth certificate, if she takes it and signs it, she just signed over her child over to corporate America. War tools. Now there's a birth record, there's a birth certificate. Certificate claiming ownership. Claims ownership. So what you need to do with the birth certificate is go to disclaimers of vital statistics and reclaim your child by going through vital statistics and get a birth record. You can create your own birth record once you claim your nationality. See, the Europeans use brands also as a war tool. War tool. Slaves, Negro, blacks, and colors. That's why they branded you as Negro, blacks, and colors. Then they labeled you to denote you of slavery by the name that you use. Smith, Johnson, Paul, John, Green, Blue, or whatever it is that you want to call yourself today as an Asiatic, Moorish American, Asiatic. You claim your nationality and study what Noble Drew Ali did, then you would know what your nationality is. Now, they're going to continue to use the war tool that they have you labeled with these names that you're now using, these European names. So we're going to go to the nation war tool. A war tool is a driver's license. What a driver's license does is this. Anytime you get into your car and travel from work, home, or to see a family member, or to just go out in general when you're traveling, if you take a driver's license and they tell you to go take a driver's test so you can get a driver's license, and if you do that, then once you accept that, that becomes a war tool. Now they can minimize your movement, find out how much you make at work, how much revenue you're bringing in. If you're bringing in compensation or an income, they can stop your waters with the driver's license. This is a war tool. A driver's license is a war tool. So if you study the Declaration of the United Declaration of Human Rights, then you know that Liberty of freedom of movement belongs to sovereignty. You have freedom of the land. You don't need a driver's license in order to travel on your land, to ride your motorcycle, to ride your bicycle, to drive your car, whether you're on a horse or wagon. You don't need a driver's license. A driver's license is for if you're driving a bus, driving a truck to transport merchandise, floating on a boat, flying an airplane. You need a license to do that. To do commerce work, trade. Those are war tools. So those are war tools if you're sovereign to the land, if you're Asiatic, if you're dark-skinned, broad nose, full-lipped, woolly curly hair. Whether you accept it or not, whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, it don't make no difference. You're more. You need to claim your nationality. You need to claim your sovereignty. You need to claim your land. You can't do it using the name Smith, Jones, and Johnson, or Brown, or Paul, or whatever it is you want to use today. You can't do it. You can't do it calling yourself African American, or black, a Negro, a Christian. You can't do it. A Christian is not a spiritual religion. Christian is political. It's pseudo-religion. It keeps you in a belief-dying system, which is a war tool. And these preachers that they're using are he's a war tool against you to keep your mind mentally enslaved with a belief system. You can't get nothing done with just believing. You can't be a doctor and just believe I can be a doctor. You can't do it. You can't be an engineer and just believe I can be an engineer. You got to go and study and learn these tools in order to get it done. You can't get it done by believing. You got to go and get it done. And also, these schools are war tools against your children. To tell them they came in here on a boat, and that they're slaves, and that they have no history, and this is what their name is. They ain't no good without them. That's a war tool. So these are basic war tools that you need to learn about today, and find out who you are, so you can separate yourself from these war tools and free yourself up. Like you drive your car now, you get a ticket, and you got to go pay the ticket. You get 3 tickets a month. How much they gonna take? How much are they taking out your paycheck? That's a war tool. That means they stopping your revenue. They stopping your water. They stopping your flow of compensation or your income or whatever it is that you're getting. That's a war tool. You know, he's now your God. You understand me? Because he's telling you when you can go, and anything that you register to the state belongs to him. And remember, Negro, blacks, colored, African American, Christian, or if you're calling yourself a European name, you're a property. And remember, property cannot own property. That's why we don't own nothing. Because property cannot own property. And as long as you call yourself Smith, Jones, and Johnson, as long as you don't go and study what Noble Drew Ali did, and find out your nationality, find out your bloodline name, and find out who you are, so you can help your children. If you don't want to help yourself, then you will always be property. Your children will be property. And these preachers want to continue to keep you as property, and your children be property to the next generation, to the next 1,000 years, and that's what you're going to be if you don't go and do something about it. If you don't go and study, if you're going to find out who you are, go find out what Noble Drew Ali did, find out what's going on with the Moore Science Temple of America. If you don't want to go to the Moore Science Temple of America, go to a computer and download on a computer what he did, and find out what your history was before the 1400s. You understand me? I, self-law, am master. You can never master yourself or your children or who you are, and you can never be a master. You can never be free until you go and learn who you are. You will always be a slave. I took El Hermano. I'm out.